Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next session. Its name's something a little bit different. It doesn't matter if it says Reboot Your Show underneath Holly. It is actually chapter 2.5, Into the Woods. The party deviated off course for a little while, and I love the fact that they did it because it's a little different story arc than usual, which makes me happy. So, that's what we're dealing with.
You say that again, but not like a creepy pervert man.
I don't think I can. I think creepy
Okay.
pervert man is par for the course. All right,
Nice.
let's go. What happened last? Well, how are you guys? Good. Glad to hear it. Is it something special today? Nope. Nothing special today. Not for
normal
another 2 hours and 22 minutes. Yep. So we're going to ignore details for 2 hours and 22 minutes. Last session, you guys were flubbing about in the woods. Came across stuff that looks like it could have been a a shambling mound. Went up and then tried to avoid it as much as possible. Saw a bunch of moving medium-sized creatures. Thought they were shambling mounds. Thank God they're not. And then eventually defeated them and continued traveling and found a hole inside of a tree. Walked through that hole for a while into a cavernous, perfectly carved 7x7 wall area, and into a hole that was dark at the bottom that Kieran jumped into with 4 orcs and a strange-looking hobgoblin. That's literally where we picked up. Kieran, much to everybody's
Kieran
concern,
offered bread.
Offered bread.
Did.
Yeah.
And words were said in her head.
Mm-hmm.
The words were... What are you doing here? Kieran.
We are looking for 3 different parties who have gone missing in this area, and I thought perhaps, living in a hole in this area, you would know. And I say it out loud in common.
It's listening to you for a few moments, and it seems to be like thinking for a bit. The creature that looks like a hobgoblin, and like you can actually see his focus kind of like drifts away, like he was listening to you and then he's not, and then you smell something strange. It smells like very salty. No, it's the ocean. Oh my God, it's a wonderful ocean smell. It reminds you of a time that you were on the beach. No, it reminds you of every time you were on the beach in your childhood, where you grew up. It's amazing. It has this sweet, perfect, salty smell of where it was that you grew up. And then he says to you, perfectly, with perfect enunciation of your accents and language. What? Says to you a perfect enunciation of your accents and language. Says to you, you came into our home and you asked questions.
Yeah. I mean, we knocked first. And I brought bread.
Yeah,
I was told you like it.
the bread is not a good offering to bring.
Sorry, I was told that. Well, not you. I don't really know what you are, to be honest. I was told they like bread.
They? And he looks back at the
yeah.
orcs.
I kind of point at the orcs.
As far as I understand, they find it to be offensive.
Well, I apologize then. I'll put the bread back in the
They
back.
eat foods in their pure form. They eat foods that as they're meant to be eaten, and to treat them as much as that has been treated, and then to offer it to them is not a very good thing. You guys up above can hear this. His voice is deep enough, and it kind of echoes up. So without making any checks, unless you have a 8 passive perception or lower, you actually hear this no problem, well enough to understand the words.
Okay. How far down is it?
100 feet.
I'm just gonna look at Stalbor and just be like, I don't know what Kieran's getting herself into. But
I have put away the offensive pastry.
Yep.
And like I said, we were looking for missing people who have gone. around this area.
I don't know of people that went missing. Could you explain the details of their disappearances?
Sure. I'll give him the details that I definitely know in game, not so much out of game. Um, the people, the shifters, house Ganeth,
It's like all the stuff
the
prior.
time they went missing. Yep.
Yep, all the stuff prior to walking into the woods, all the information you had there. Okay. He listens to all
And I would
that.
say that we found their belongings directly outside of this little hidey hole.
It was a bit back,
so-
but yeah.
Yeah, so we know they were around here.
Well, I can tell you this. They ventured out of the safety of their walls, or the perceived safety of their walls, and into woods that they don't understand, where there are things that lurk that they don't understand. If they've
Oh, like
gone
your
missing-
bodyguards? Because we killed them.
My bodyguards.
Are those not yours? The creatures that were outside?
What creatures are you referring to?
Should I give like a vague description of the toddling moundlings?
When you describe that, you can see that the at least two of the orcs seem to be, because you're describing, I imagine, with very descriptive words, but also a lot of gestures as well, right? Kieran's pretty animated.
And it's like, and I tried to, throw lightning at them, and that didn't work. So then we threw fire at them, and that kind of worked. And we threw ice at them, and that was better.
Yeah. So, and as you do that, the two of the orcs seem to react to it. Like they give each other like knowing looks, and one of them even steps closer to the seeming hobgoblin creature that you're speaking to, and the creature listens to everything that you're saying and says, "This that you speak of, they're not ours, but they are concerning. I think perhaps you should bring me to see the remains of these creatures."
Of course. How do you plan on getting up?
He just starts lifting, and to that, you actually start lifting as well.
Oh, I don't like that. I fly. Like,
Okay. You're like, no,
Away.
I'm gonna go faster than you can lift me.
yeah. Like, no.
Okay.
When that starts happening, I imagine all three of us are sort of peering back down the hole.
Yeah.
I just like this and just walk like several steps backwards so that we're not directly at the edge.
Yeah,
pushing
I follow
away.
back.
When you guys get up there, imagine Kira, because she's intentionally flying faster than that thing offers, and gets up there first. He will land gently, adjacent to
Look,
Kira.
I found your ugly cousin.
He looks at you. He looks at Reich for a few moments, studying him, and then looks back at you and says, "I don't believe your attempt at humor is inaccurate." And then turns back to the three of you and nods.
I nod back.
Mm.
I look strangely at the creature, just kind of giving it a once over, and I say, so, what are we doing?
I've been informed there are things out there of concern, and I am to be shown what they are.
Oh, the tree people.
What is this guy wearing?
Simple clothes. It is very earth-toned wraps and simple trousers. Things like that. Even his shoes themselves seem to be made out of very, very well wrapped together, like swamp weed. That is wrapped together to form actually a very comfortable looking and dry shoe that's probably very water resistant. If you had to guess just by looking at him, it was made by the culture of the druids here.
Okay. No, yeah. Yeah, I would just wait for everyone else to see what they say.
If you'd be willing to lead the way.
Absolutely, sir. And just turn and walk. Giving like a long look at Kieran.
So all of you guys start walking out of the hole in the wall together, like the whole throughout the tunnel and all the way to like where it's burrowed underground, until you get to the tree entrance. And one by one, you guys walk out of the tree entrance, and he actually stops in front of it, just on the inside, and he says, "There are many dangers out there, dangers that can take a life or alter it, dangers that you should be wary of with every step that you take, but none of them can even compare to the slightest of horrors that exist in here. Forget what you have found. and then like with a wave of the hands, the thing that was moved to the side actually starts moving back in place to like lock back the hole in the wall shut. Like he does not even step out of the tree.
Oh,
He doesn't
so
come with us.
He doesn't
Does
come
not-
with us.
Does not even step out of the tree. He literally follows you as you four come out of the tree. He stops in the tree, says that, and starts closing it.
Alright. I
That's
stopped the tree
curious.
I put my foot in like the tree to stop it.
So do you actually go to put your foot in the way to do that?
Yep.
Sure.
It breaks
First of
your
all,
foot.
it's a dexterity save. It's actually only going to be a DC 9 because it's slow moving.
It just keeps shutting, Kieran.
You get your foot in
Right.
there. This thing has
And
more
it's
force than your foot has the ability to stop, and it is not slowing down. As your foot starts to be in extreme pain, make me a dexterity save DC 15 to get it out.
She's gonna lose her fucking foot.
Probably. It'd be very upsetting.
Well, she can fly, so it's okay.
Yeah, but then you get a
It's
peg
true.
leg, and that'd be awesome.
I mean, I
I'm
can't
just not
even
pulling
roll.
her
She just
out.
has a peg foot.
I'm
so
starting to pull
that's
her
not
out.
bad.
Does that help?
I mean, I'm just gonna blast it open.
Well, I see Karen's foot stuck, and I see her starting a incantation to blast.
Yeah, I like just grab her hands. Just
Yeah,
like,
I'm just
no,
trying to
I
Oh,
will
we're
allow
attacking
you
the magic tree.
I will allow you a dex save to give a strength save.
I
Like
still
you
wanna
need to be able
blast
to
the tree
react
open.
quick enough to be
So
able to
I
make
do
the
a
strength
dex save?
Yep.
And if it's good enough,
This is
I get to
already
do
a mess. And how long are we into the stream?
You can roll your strength.
Okay, strength save.
Yes.
Okay,
Don't do it.
just making sure it
Not
wasn't
worth-
athletics.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you grab Kieran and you start pulling at her as quickly as you can. As soon as you see her start to struggle, Stalwar, you were doing the same thing.
I grab her. No, I'm not trying to pull her out. I just you see her doing like this. And I just grab her hands and just hold them above her head so she doesn't cast it. I
Oh,
mean,
that's pretty
I'm actually
interesting.
Sal actually knows that doesn't really stop her, but you know,
Verbal.
hoping the action would.
Verbal. Still works.
What this is gonna do is I'm gonna get like pissed and like start just channeling magic, and it's gonna be this spell, and Stalwart's just gonna come with me.
Sure.
God.
Where do you teleport to?
And I don't have any probably control over it at this point because this
No.
is the first time I'm doing this.
Sure.
So away.
Sure. Okay. Awesome. So,
pull it on the
could you do me a favor, Luca? Can you make a Constitution save?
Yeah,
Con
everything
save.
saves.
Oh.
Yes.
Kieran, can
So
you roll
good.
your damage
What
Yeah.
what damage is this?
and describe it?
Do I need to make? Do I need to
Yeah,
make
what
a con
about-
save,
yeah,
or
you
am
two,
I-
right. You two, right.
Yeah,
you
everyone makes con saves.
Even
So
me?
sorry.
Really?
Not
no,
you.
no, because you're teleporting with her. You're safe.
Let's
What
go,
about
Reich.
the hobo?
I'm doing that
Okay.
right now.
Nope. Norp.
So we
Oh,
take 19
Jesus.
points of damage?
I'm unconscious.
Don't worry, I got him, guys.
So,
I only have
so-
18 health left.
Adventure, it becomes a normal adventure with murder hobos who are attacking each other.
okay. So, Kieran, how do you? Would you like to describe this?
Reich's gonna be pissed.
Of course. So she is screaming in primordial, and you see just like thunder and lightning just crackling around her, and it's almost like she and Stalwar become lightning for a quick second and just like zip out, and there's like a resounding boom of thunder that's left behind, and you guys all are knocked down and take tons of damage.
And I'm gonna give
And
Reich-
I assume the tree is hopefully blown to bits.
So as that thunder knocks me down and I fall to the ground, I'm gonna look up for everyone and see that they're gone. It was obviously fucking Kieran because it was thunder, and I'm gonna look over to Reich,
And
seeing
lightning.
him unconscious.
Hold on before you do that.
Yeah.
Roll me a perception check, Reich. Roll me a perception check with disadvantage.
The tree's gone.
The tree was in our mind the whole time.
It was a mine tree.
Yes, I'm knocking it out of the park with these 9s.
Jesus, we're gonna die. We're
Okay.
gonna die.
So neither
Wow.
one of you see what happens, if anything, to the hobgoblin seeming creature, in the tree.
But the
So-
tree's there and the thing's blocking it.
Correct. If the tree's there, the door is shut again.
And Reich is unconscious.
Correct. So you
I'm
may continue
gonna-
your actions.
I'm gonna go over to Reich
Mhm.
and give him a. I guess I'll just do a medicine check first.
Sure.
Then I'm gonna
No,
give him
yes.
one of my healing potions.
Sure.
We were expecting Kieran to cause problems in the hole, not
Yeah.
outside the hole.
Hey! Yay! Natty 20
All
medicine
right.
check.
That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
good.
So he's doing fine, and as a matter of fact, without even giving a healing potion to him, I can tell you right now he like will come to right now. So I'll give him the 1 health point and let him come to right now. So you can feel free to give him the healing potion anyways. But he
Yeah, but I'll do that.
You
Yeah,
go over to
RP.
check on him, and literally he kind of got blown back, and he smashed his head. And so you go over there, you like kneel down next to him, and you go to check him. You're like, oh, he's breathing, and you literally see growing right next to his head is a medicinal herb that's very common for using inside like medicines and whatnot. And so, for like alchemy and everything. So you literally grab that and just immediately start rubbing it into whatever open scrapes he has from being thrown backwards. And it gets enough into his bloodstream to wake him up with the 1 health point.
As he wakes up, I'm gonna have like the healing potion. I'm like holding the vial out in front of him for him to take.
I sit up for a moment, just very dazed after what just happened. I shake it. I attempt to shake it off, but my head's still swimming. I look over and see the potion, and I kind of nod and mumble something that sounds like like thanks, and I take the potion and I'm gonna drink it.
Okay.
How much does that heal me?
2d4 plus 4. No wait, 2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2.
Yeah, plus 2. It's not the.
I always say 2d4 plus 4 because I'm an
I don't
idiot.
know why. I guess I'm an idiot too.
Hey,
6, so you're up to 7, buddy.
yeah. I'm still looking pretty messed
Kieran
up. at
acted
this
on her
point.
flaws.
Do you have any healing potions?
Yeah, fucker. And so, I don't believe so. I gotta double check.
Okay.
Believe I'm out of healing potions.
While he's figuring that out, then Kieran, what happens is you get blasted backwards, and there's a huge boom sounds that you hear. So like you feel this pain, you stomp your foot down, and all of a sudden, some distance to the side, you hear a loud boom. And where you're standing around you, all of a sudden you're not in that tree anymore. Your foot is no longer caught. Instead, you're actually standing amongst 3 smaller trees that kind of like grow in a mangled way, just because they happen to grow inside a swampy area. And where you're standing, all of a sudden, like almost a crater, like the bottom of a sphere, is blown into the muck and mud around where you're standing, and that muck and mud is thrown outwards, making like lasting waves or ripples inside the muck and mud around it, because it's not like water doesn't instantly, hit its equilibrium. And even the trees around you have a couple of splints and cracks inside them. Ollie, Stalbert also hears the same loud boom. However, this isn't your first time teleporting through magic. You felt familiar, those strange energies happen, and that loud boom happens off into a distance. And like you look off to the side, you actually usually do very well perception checks. You see Reich fly backwards and hit his head against a tree, like barely can see it through the cover and everything between where you are and where they are. It's a good distance away. But you can instantly tell through the familiar magics and whatnot what has happened, how it's happened, why it's happened, but what has happened. Kieran is with you.
Yeah.
Adjacent.
We're probably still in the exact same position.
Yeah, like,
I just like let go of Kieran and step back and like. Well,
mean to do that.
I don't think the person in the magic tree is happy.
They're gonna be less happy when I get back over there. I'll start
Hey,
making.
do you want to just leave? I mean, they'll follow us.
Kind of people.
I'm kidding. We should go see him.
Okay.
Ah.
So
Make sure they're okay.
you make your way back over to the tree area, and you can see Lucas helping Reich up off the ground. Reich, you drank 1 potion. You're already back up to 7. So you're fine. And there's also a short rest or whatever you can do. But you make your way back over there, and Reich is back on his feet, though obviously has like mud and whatnot on his back and everything. And even Luca they got mud splattered onto him that was kicked up from the sound waves or whatever into the mud. So, and I don't know, how do you guys react to Kieran storming back over to this area?
She's getting a pissed off look from me, definitely. I assume from Reich
Probably
too,
not
but
storming.
I kind of like to dust myself off, and I look over at Kieran. And as she steps over there, I just say, "Are you satisfied?"
Sorry about that.
Luca takes a really, really big deep breath, and he's trying to calm himself down.
While he sees that happening, Stalbor will like raise his hand with a little copper wire and message to Luca. It's like, you hear that? Kieran said sorry.
Yeah,
Try and cheer him up.
for a moment, just was like taken very much aback by her saying, her actually apologizing, and it just nods. It just not gonna press his luck. It just nods and accepts it.
Luca gives you like a slight like shake of the head. Just walks past you toward the hole because obviously she did some shit and she's not gonna be satisfied with walking away from it. So starts walking back toward the tree.
When you make your way over to the hole, are you going to investigate it or no?
I'm gonna make one. Yeah, I'm gonna. So the hole's open, yeah?
No.
No, I'm gonna try to push it open.
Okay. So you go over to it, and you try touching it. Try to open it. Go ahead. Make me
Athletics.
Yep. Make an athletics check.
I have a feeling the magic people that live in the trees probably don't want us to go back into the trees.
Okay. So the way that this thing's sealed, everything about that is really, really, really well done. Like, it is held firm. There's no question about that. Half a second while I click on... The fuck are you? There you are.
Oh no.
So that is that. Like, it's done extremely well. And so Luca goes over there and he's grabbing at where it was that Stalbo had done before, and he's trying to release it and everything, and it's not working. So Luca's like, no, fuck this noise. And he grabs out his 2 hand axes that he always has with him, and he smashes them into the wood of the tree and areas where he knows it's the open hole. And he grabs it with all of his might. He starts ripping and pulling at this doorway as much as he can. And then with it, he actually is able to pull enough that he pulls the doorway off. And when he does, as he rips that doorway off, immediately afterwards, everybody make me an intelligence save.
Oh, Jesus Christ.